actually such a trippy experience because I did law school for such a long time, or significant amount of time, and it was such a significant experience. And then I went really into Rain, and it was so different, or such a different character, and I liked that. And then we wrapped the final episode of Rain, and the next day I flew out to Calgary. I think it was like we wrapped on the 16th of December, I flew out on the 17th, we started filming on the 18th, and then like through till Christmas. And because it was Emily's writing, it was almost like having a deja vu, but it felt very clunky for me to get back into her writing, you know, what had been so effortless. But at the end of Lost Girl, like I could have honestly done those lines in my sleep because Tamsin was a part of me in a way. And so that was challenging, and it was so cold in Calgary, and I was doing all these fight scenes, and like I didn't do any of that stuff with Elizabeth, and I was literally in my underwear. She's like, I'm so sorry that I was doing. I was like, no, you're not. I fucking wrote this. I know. Standing there and looked at, oh my gosh, my bra. I was like, whoa. But first of all, Tim was on Lost Girl with us, so I knew him.
So talented.
He's so talented and so funny.
Yeah.
I have to bet he was wearing
that.
that.
He's so unattractive. He's like the single most beautiful human I've ever seen.
I know.
He's so beautiful.
I know he is so beautiful.
Sometimes I'm just staring.
And he's like still like continuing because he was a babe when he was younger, and then he's like still a babe.
Oh, it doesn't end.
But it's really weird because Tim, when I kind of heard stories of him being like, oh yeah, like Tim, like he's like mad about town or whatever, and then I met him, and I remember we were sitting in the chairs waiting to film a scene. It was his first episode, and he was like on his phone. He's like, oh, like looking at photos, and I was like, oh, what are you looking at? He's like, look at my cat. It was like this one, like the other day, was like jumping over this, and I was like, what the fuck? But that's him. Like he's just so unaffected by how hot he is.
Yeah, he doesn't carry it at all.
Oh, not at all. And then he's the first one, like on that episode of Wynonna, like he was in this suit, like radioactive suit or whatever, and we like tied it up really tight to his face, and he's just sitting there, like, you know, he has no sort of pride, like in a very positive way, you know, kind of just the first person to make fun of himself. And anyway, so he was there, and I knew him. And then the rest of the cast was very similar to Lost Girl. Like I think Emily just sort of surrounds herself with lovely, good people. So yeah, but it was very quick, and then it was done. And then I couldn't talk about it to anyone. Yeah, I just did one episode, and they condensed all my stuff into 4 days.
Wow.
And so we couldn't talk about it. We were even at Lexicon with Emily, and people were like, oh, it'd be great if Rachel could be on Wynonna. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then it aired, and like nobody told me about it. I was like, oh, well that was anticlimactic.
I mean, you couldn't like do a shout out or anything.
No. So I just posted a photo, and I have all these like funny photos, primarily of Tim, thinking about himself. But yeah, I wanted to like put some up or do
next time.
So it was very good experience.